I have an interruption for you Ferrari fans.
Okay, hit me.
And we might be able to just go in the show here. I think that I'm ready to say that I think Carlos Sainz were 19 minutes into P2, by the way. So this is extremely premature, but that's what I'm here for. I think it's safe to say that Carlos Sainz is in his Silverstone era.
Yeah, for sure. I had a come to Jesus realization this weekend where I think I like Max Verstappen more than Carlos Sainz.
I think I like Max Verstappen the best out of everybody other than Yuki, and I'm ready to admit it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna come out of the closet as a stan because I don't know. Here's the thing, and I was trying to explain this to somebody recently.
I had this in our notes. I'm so glad that you just said this because I literally was going to use the words coming out of the closet, but not that way because I already did that once on this show, but just as a Max Verstappen fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought really that I hated him. And I'm rewatching Drive to Survive, watching season 5 for the first time right now. And this is how I put it. Carlos Sainz will fuck over Charles Leclerc. But I don't think Max Verstappen would. I mean, I think he would, but in a different way. Like, I think Sainz is kind of like in his all about me right now era. He's very much in his Chick Hicks era.
Oh yeah, you want to know the forecast? I'll give you the forecast. 100% chance of thunder.
If you've ever seen Cars.
Not his Chick Hicks era.
I haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Cars, Kendra?
I've seen it, but not in like a decade.
You know Lightning McQueen?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know.
Okay, I know what I'm trying to say, but I guess I'm not living for him right now. And I'm a Ferrari gal. So
different reasons for liking him, and that is so on brand because we come to the same conclusion about things, but in like completely opposite ways. So I'm a Max Verstappen fan first and foremost because he is a hater and I am a hater, and I live for that. Also, he's chaotic as fuck. He does whatever he wants. He's kind of a dickhead and he likes cats. But what really the icing on the cake for me, he's leading the race by 24 seconds after being overtaken for the first time in like fucking forever. And he's like, should I pit for the fastest lap, whatever? And the team's like, no. And he's like, yeah, fuck it, we're doing it. And he got the fastest lap on the last lap of the race. And that is BDE summarized for me.
Yeah.
And I love him. I don't know. I love his sense of humor, first of all. But like just the fact that he is the way that he is and he walks it and talks it, like he's him. I don't know. I can't
he is him
any longer.
That's the thing. He is him. Like he is the legend. He is the moment. Like I'm kind of living for it.
He's kind of
I really want to not like him. I really do. But I don't know. I've just been watching a bunch of, like I said, rewatching Drive to Survive. The clips of him gaming and his stepdaughter coming into the room are so cute. Like I just love him I love Penelope. I love him with fans. Like he just seems like a nice guy. And he's a total psycho. That's why he's a total psychopath. No, he's a psycho. Yes. He's a literal psychopath. But I'm kind of living.
I think that we have the same energy.
You guys totally do.
Yeah.
Totally do. You have that and like scary things happening back here.
Also, if you're new here, welcome to Saturdays and Seltzers. My name's Kendra. This is Haley, my co-host, and Tyler, our producer. Tyler is a known Red Bull hater, so yes. I'm curious how you feel about
I still can't stand him. I don't like him winning every week, and that's really why I don't like him. I think he's a fine character. I just don't.
Is he on your hate list? He wins
every week. No, he's not on my hate list.
Okay, all right, that would be a line for me.
I don't hate him that much. I don't think there's nobody in F1 that like I hate enough to put on a hate list.
Let me raise you this.
Maybe Mac or what's his name? Lewis Hamilton.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I don't like Lewis Hamilton.
You joke, Tyler. He is like the queen of queens. Like he is like the coolest person to ever walk the planet.
Yeah,
he is so cool.
I think that's
and he is an English bulldog who looks like Dolly.
Well, you see, I didn't know that. Now,
my mom told me that. I'll send you the link to his dog's Instagram page. I have a point too I want to bring up real quick while we're on F1. So we got the news that AlphaTauri is changing in the coming seasons. What drink company, Tyler?
Well, I
What
had a
place is
great
that?
tweet about this. I think they should just be Team Sugar-Free Red Bull.
I think so too.
I love that.
I think that's great. Either that
All
or go like
lowercase.
Team Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Team Diet Dr. Pepper. Even better.
Oh,
We live.
Jesus Christ. We have more F1 stuff to talk about later. We just have been loving these soft opens into the show lately. I don't know. They're kind of hilarious sometimes. Allison just texted me the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I love her. I'm so jealous you to see her.
She's actually in my HLH. So if you're new here, we start every show with our high of the last week, low of the last week, and hero of the last week, which is something unexpectedly good that happened to you. I never start with me except for maybe once in a blue moon, but I'm going to start with me just because Allison is part of my high. Last weekend, I did a staycation, saw Loud Luxury, and had some like time with my god family, and it was fucking awesome. And if you don't know who Allie is, she is like my god sister, I guess. But she's 17 and she's like weird and insane, and I love her. And we were talking about Dominic Fike this weekend, and out of nowhere she just texted me, Dominic fucking 8, don't play with me, in all capitals about his new music.
Dominic Fike's the guy in Euphoria, correct?
He is, yeah.
He is in Euphoria.
Okay.
So that's hilarious. So that was my high of the last week. Haley, what was yours, since we're on the topic about
Shout out Allie. Real quick, I'll say one of my favorite memories with Kendra is when we went to see Allie's dance competition, and I went absolutely feral. I was louder than all the moms and most of the teenage girls there. So
Haley's gonna be a mom of pageantry or dance or something.
Not pageants, because I don't have the money for that, but yeah. And I wouldn't subject my kids to that, first and foremost. But yeah, my high, Charles P2 last week at the Austrian Grand Prix. Couple tough weeks for Ferrari. Obviously, we'll talk about it a little later. Some miscommunication between the bench and the car, to say the least. But I was happy to see him back on the podium, and I just think he's adorable, and I want what's best for him in every aspect of everything ever. And my mom is his biggest fan, so if he's winning, she's happy and I'm happy.
All right, Tyler. I think that this is like a huge topic of conversation. Like, this has to go in our headlines somehow, because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, it's definitely the big news of the week.
Of like the year, kinda, yeah.
I've been living for the Insta Threads drama, though. I'm definitely, it's just like so chaotic, and I love it so much.
So are Zuck and Elon still fighting, like physically, or what's going on? I don't think that
is ever going to happen, personally. But
you
knows?
Don't?
No, I don't think there's any chance that they actually get in the ring.
Do you think that they just did it for publicity so that this whole thing would get more clicks and shit? Are we having a Kardashian conspiracy moment?
No, I bet it's like real beef between the two of them. But
did
I don't think they're actually
Elon's suing him?
I did. It's a petty sue.
Wait, okay. So I have to talk about how I was kicked off of Twitter for 12 hours, my first Twitter suspension last weekend, because I tweeted and I said, at Elon Musk, I hope Zuck beats your ass, and I got suspended.
What did you get suspended for? Did it like give you a reason for like bullying?
I think it said making like threats.
Enticing, I think it was enticing violence or harassment. Yeah. Which if you are a longstanding fan of the show, Kendra has previously gotten in trouble with on TikTok. So now TikTok and Twitter.
What is the TikTok? I think I forgot about that.
It was when she took out her black belt and started insinuating that she was
some guy was threatening to beat up girls.
Yeah.
And I was just like, please try me, you dumb motherfucker. And I got how did he not get suspended for threatening to beat up women for fun?
Men.
It's a great question.
TikTok is lame.
What are our stance? Or I want official stances. Everyone needs to pick a team thread or team Twitter, though.
can you give me like 2 weeks with Threads to make a decision instead of 24 hours?
Fine.
Here's my issue.
Threads.
I hate
I'll
that.
say
I
it
hate
now.
Threads.
I like it. It's so
I think
chaotic. It's a glorified chat room. And
it's like just, Yik Yak all over again.
It is, and I love it.
I loved Yik Yak.
I loved Yik Yak too.
I hate the look of it.
I don't want my Instagram followers to be able to see my inner demons online. Like that is like Twitter. And I know that people say that Twitter's like professional or whatever, but I completely disagree. I'm so unhinged, and I like that people can follow me and see me be unhinged without anything else involved.
Yeah, it's been a big point of contention for Tyler and I this week.
Man.
Yeah, it's been rough. Because I was in denial for a really long time. I didn't want to download it. I didn't want to get a new app. I felt very boomer because I just like didn't know what was going on or how to use it. I'm not a fan of the interface. I think that in the next couple weeks, in the next couple months, if they can develop it and make it look better and look nicer, I will probably end up liking it. But for now, it's just another thing that I have to keep both of your notifications on for. So,
are either of you doing the Blue Sky thing?
I couldn't get in.
Nobody I don't know what that is. Like, I literally don't. I don't care.
Nobody invited me, so I couldn't get in.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with no FP2 track action so far for Charles Leclerc. He's waiting for an electrical issue to be resolved. Fingers crossed he'll be out of the track soon.
Great.
So we'll keep an eye on that just for reaction purposes. I guess I have to go with Milo now. Yeah. So if you listen to our show, I've been like pretty sick for like a couple weeks now. And my doctor's office that I went to see lost my lab work the first time, had me come back in, got all my lab work done, and waited like the amount of time. And then a few days after, called back, and they had lost my lab work a second time. So now I have to get in with a normal doctor to get lab work done a third time and wait through all of that as well to figure out what's going on. So I'm having a great time. Haley was also sick last week, and that is her low. So
yeah, I was super sick last week at the end of the week, which is why we didn't film. Took the weekend to get better. I'm feeling much better, back to my normal self. But more pressing than that, I had one of the most awful moments of my life happen to me yesterday, which I have told neither of you about. For those of you who don't know, I have a little brother. His name is David. Shout out, homie. He's 21. He is moving in with me for the summer until his place at college is ready for him to move into at the beginning of August. So we're living together for the first time in a really long time. So I went downstairs yesterday morning to make breakfast, find something to eat.
David's my favorite, by the way. My elite, I just have to I don't know what happened yet. I'm just letting my allegiance in this house be known before I know whatever this is about to be. Violet, David, Nancy, Haley, and Haley is my favorite person in the world. If that gives you any. Oh yeah, J-Mo. J-Mo can be under Haley. I love J-Mo, but he ruined my white dress one time and I can't wear it anymore, so we're beefing. Violet's the cat, by the way. Anyways, continue. I just need to let it be known that this is where I stand in the hierarchy of this.
Yeah,
household.
Tyler, can you give me your DeMello household hierarchy real quick?
Let's see.
Nancy might be above David, but barely.
I might go Nancy, J-Mo, Violet, Haley, David. I haven't met David.
Yeah, you haven't met David. That's true.
I met David and I had heard about him for literally years. I didn't think he was real. I thought that you guys were just, I don't know. And then I asked him if I could hug him and he gave me a good hug, and that's the only interaction we've ever had. So I have nothing negative to say about him yet.
It was really sweet. But anyway,
sure, for an incident.
I went downstairs to make something for breakfast and I opened my freezer and there were like ice shavings on stuff and things were a little wet. Turned out my brother did not close the freezer entirely when he went to bed the previous night. So So needless to say, I went to move a pint of orange sherbet and the top fell off and poured all over me, all over the freezer, all over everything in the freezer. And I just stood there in the kitchen with melted orange sherbet everywhere and all over myself for like a minute. It was just like, what the hell is happening? So that was not fun. And I had to clean that up. But that was probably my low of the week.
That
the orange
is
sherbet incident. I'm a little bit triggered.
shitty, but also hysterical.
Yeah, it was just gross. Gross.
It also could be worse.
It could be worse.
It's been Rocky Road.
Yeah, it could have been Rocky Road.
That's how it could have been worse.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, what was your low?
So I'm gonna hate on another holiday.
Do you believe in this one?
I do believe in this one for what it stands for and is supposed to stand for. The the birth of our nation. Independence Day. I hate it. I'm so sick of Independence Day. People's obsession with fireworks needs to stop.
I agree. Yes, this is a hot take of Tyler's that I agree with. 4th of July it's whatever.
It's become my least favorite holiday because of the fireworks. And I can't stand there are people still in Nashville. It's a great fireworks show, whatever.
Oh, Nashville
but there's still
would be
people
the worst.
today. There's still people today launching fireworks.
During the day.
During the day.
Nashville would be a terrible place for 4th of July. I need to set up a somehow robot AI to tell me never to go to Nashville for any time of the summer at all.
No, yeah, I wouldn't recommend coming in the summer. It's entirely too hot and it smells weird.
Smells really bad.
Yeah, it's like rotting garbage,
The
especially
only
on Broadway.
I will say about Independence Day, 4th of July, is that I love fireworks. It doesn't really bother me as much as it bothers Tyler. I will say shout out to, though, my mom brought this up last night and I'm very fortunate. JMO, shout out, best dog. Besides Jackson. He's not afraid of fireworks, but my thoughts go out to people whose dogs are, because that must be really difficult. And if you're in a city, I can't even imagine how you deal with that. So that's one thing that when she pointed that out, I was like, dude, that's
how's Jackson with fireworks?
He prefers to be in my lap if they're close, but if they're far, he'll stand at the window for a minute and then eventually calm down. He's not as bad as some dogs unless they're super close, but if they're really close, he literally will bury himself on top of me and he's just, oh my god, I'm gonna cry, shut up. Okay, anyways, my hero is actually just something that I think is so funny. So my old landlord owns a I can't even, never mind. My old landlord basically tried to screw us out of our security deposit and really bad, trashed his own place kind of thing really bad. And so we took him to small claims quarter, whatever. Anyways, this guy owns a couple bars now and bought a Range Rover and thinks he's hot shit. And I guess downloaded Raya and tried to use me as a wreck last week. And I just thought that was the funniest fucking thing ever. That you the balls are kind of impressive. I should have accepted it, but I was just fuck you. That was a ha-ha moment, ha-ha funny moment for me. Haley's hero.
So I have a hero and I'm also introducing a villain for the week. My hero is Steve Jobs. If you are living under a rock, I have got an iPhone back. It is finally time.
Do you not have a case on that thing?
Not yet. It's in the mail. I ordered one and it was the wrong size. So it got here and that was
I was about to panic.
No, it is coming. I actually just got the note.
You also don't live your life like Haley DeMello does. So I'm not as
very fair point.
T. Anyway,
Haley needs a case for herself.
Literally. That was one of the quick pause. Well, this is part of Steve Jobs being my hero. I haven't had a phone or like Apple product since these AirTags have come out. And I have had so many people on my ass, like, you need to have an AirTag on everything because I lose everything. So that is going to be super helpful. I am back in a bunch of my friends' group chats, and now hopefully I won't get left out of plans, LOL, because people don't want to message me with green bubbles, which I totally understand because I missed having an iPhone so fucking much. I'm so happy that I have one again. So,
I think I'm ready to like say it. Steve Jobs is my favorite billionaire.
Rip.
yeah. With that being said, because I'm not one to have a lot of positivity radiate through my body, I have a villain, and that is going to be fall weddings. I think as a pod, we need to discuss this because I talked about it a little bit with Tyler. Working in sports, I have realized that fall weddings might be like my 13th reason why. Like there is just like,
you should not get married during football season.
So my coworker is going to be out for 3 football games, for our 5 home football games, that I will have to basically run. My other boss is having a baby, which is super exciting. So I'm just like freaking out about football season already, and just don't have your wedding in the fall because then I can't have my coworkers with me.
I'm not going to be a woman to have children. I'm like 90% sure of that. I would actually try to plan having my child around football season on purpose.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Is that fucked up?
No, I get it. I 100% get it. We have too many things to do.
Fall weddings, anti-fall weddings is a stance by my boss, Josh Pate of the Late Kick with Josh Pate. He's been fighting this fight for at least 3 years now.
I think we should make it very public that we are you should not get married in the fall, or you
shouldn't. Or if you do get married on the fall, get married on a Friday.
Yeah.
I can deal with a Friday wedding.
Yeah.
But I'd rather take a day off of work and go to the wedding and have my weekend of football than have to like watch on my phone at the wedding.
But on the bright side for you two and for me, but more so you two, because I know you guys love it just so much. We are that much closer to college football kickoff. So very exciting.
We're very close.
All right, Tyler, what's your hero? We've been in our HLH for hours.
We have been. It's actually a pretty quick HLH. But Ricky Fowler is my hero again for the 3rd show in a row. Not 3rd week in a row because we skipped last week. He would have been last week too. But he won his last tournament that he played in, and we're very proud of him. I'm gonna just keep making him my hero while he's just hot like this. He's not playing this weekend. Next weekend, the Genesis Scottish Open. Hope he wins.
Are you ready to deem him bussin'?
He is bussin'.
I've been deemed.
He's been bussin'.
But is he back?
He's been bussin'. He's definitely back.
He's back.
He's playing better than he has ever played.
Kendra.
Like, this is unprecedented for Ricky Fowler. He's the sad cat.
I'm just not a golf girl.
He's the sad cat of the PGA.
He is the sad cat. He is the Puma rep. He is literally like, I love Ricky Fowler so much. I've never rooted for somebody as much as I root for him.
Sad cat stock is through the roof right now.
I still need to finish Full Swing.
Yes, definitely.
Very good.
All right. NFL stuff, not a ton. Going to let you guys know that our next show, we are going to start previewing all the divisions, all of them, every single one.
Heck yeah. We can't wait.
But for this week, I just didn't get to comment on Cam Robinson's suspension last week, so I wanted to throw my thoughts in here. Suspended 4 weeks for PEDs. I thought this was going to be way worse. I actually think that this is like, am I thankful as a fan? Yeah, I'm hoping that we're going to trade I keep saying we, and I need to stop doing that. But like, I just can't. I have cared about this team for so long. I don't do it with any other team. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. But if he plays well, I would trade him. I would be okay with that. I think that that's a fair thing to say as well. I think that what they're going to wind up doing for the 4 games that he's suspended, though, are move Walker Little from right tackle to left, because obviously you don't really want Anton Harrison as a rookie, taking reps at left tackle when you have Trevor Lawrence there, who's kind of the key to all of this, all of it. Like, this offense is perfect and beautiful, but it's only perfect and beautiful if Trevor Lawrence is healthy. So I would, and that's the thing, is that Walker Little also like could use the experience, but we don't really have any other choice. That being said, there's only one issue with all of this. These 4 games, Colts, week 1, fine. Not really worried about it. They're, whatever, fine. Week 2, the Chiefs. That sucks. A little worried about that. And then you have the Texans and the Falcons in London. Not worried about either of those things. This could be way worse than it is. I already have the Chiefs as an L on the schedule anyway. As long as, nothing disastrous happens, I think it's fine. It could be way worse, like I said. Those are my thoughts. The end. We got some Patriots news while we were gone as well. And especially this morning, Dalvin Cook, I guess, is rumored to be in some pretty serious talks with the Patriots eventually. Haley, what are your thoughts as our Patriots fan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I have to say, I'm at this point, we'll get into it later in the show. There are some Boston teams that are making moves during their offseason that I am significantly more worried about than others. I'm going to put the Patriots smack dab in the middle of the Bruins and the Celtics there. I really like Dalvin Cook. I like his performances in Minnesota. I think that he's a strong, coming from a captain position, he's a strong veteran leadership role to have in there with Gonzalez and some of the younger guys coming in. Granted, he hasn't been a part of the Patriots before, so I don't know how he'll adapt to Bill and the system, but I don't know. I know you guys are anti-running back and you say that you're not, but I know you are. So I'm very pro running back. So I love the idea of having a really strong running back on the Patriots. Granted, I don't know if we know how to use that effectively in our offensive play calling, but we'll see. So I don't know. I'm just kind of going in blind with the Pats this season. I'm not expecting anything higher than a 3rd place placement in the division. So I'm just kind of buckled
are you
in our
okay
flop
with
era.
that though? Like,
yeah, we're kind of in our flop era. I'm just like, I'm over it.
I think hear me out. Patriots are tanking for Caleb Williams.
It's the long con.
It's the long con.
You
Yeah.
don't think that
con.
Bob Kraft wants him to have the most win record?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're chasing.
I think the Caleb Williams lottery is there. You're going to have some teams tanking for him this year. And I wouldn't be upset if the Lions are one of those teams.
Oh my God, Tyler, shut up. The Lions are actually good. They could win that division.
But Caleb Williams, in my eyes, is generational. I think so.
Tyler, that is your
I don't
hot
want
take
it to
of the
happen.
week.
I don't really want it to happen, but like if it did and we ended up with Caleb Williams, it would be worth it.
That is your hot take of the week. We have to clip that. Tyler.
Wow.
Caleb Williams is just this generational talent. And I'm all in on Caleb Williams.
So I think that if the Patriots don't sign Dalvin Cook, they have all this fucking cap space for nothing. Exactly. And they freed up even more of it. And it's like, you have to take some of those snaps off of Ramondre Stevens, especially because I think it's fair to say, because it's not year 3, that they don't know what they have in Mac Jones. I think they do know what they have in Mac Jones, which is why we saw a lot of the Bailey Zappi shit going down last year over. Yeah. Mm-hmm. On top of, the fact that Bill might not like him, and they, when all of that was going on, Matt Patricia might not have been play calling the best for Mac, and he might have preferred Zappi. Doesn't matter. Don't care. You have Bill O'Brien this year. If you don't know, now you know. And you need to add a running back into that system to be able to take carries off of Ramondre and help Mac Jones out if he's having a bad game. That being said, they have so much cap and they're so far back in the talent and the depth on their roster in that division that I think even if they don't get Dalvin and DeAndre Hopkins, that this is a fail. You have so much cap space. You have a lot of talent you need to make up for. And honestly, if you want to see what you have out of Mac Jones, this kid that you've invested all of this shit in, change the coaching staff over, all of it, give him fucking weapons, because then he has no excuse anymore. None.
And I think it's a bad look on the organization if you have DeAndre and now Dalvin Cook, who are veterans in this league. They know how this works. They know how negotiating works. And they've been obviously assumingly to New England for a visit or 2 or 3 or a couple. And if at that point they're saying, this isn't really for me, does not bode well for how things are looking over here. So
my only other Patriots thing is, all right, let's say you guys lose the division this year with 7 or 8 wins. Do you want Bill gone?
Okay.
I want Bill O'Brien gone.
Listen, I can't make any predictions. I have been born and bred a New England Patriots fan, and I have been to many a parade and enjoyed many a Super Bowl in my lifetime. I've been very fortunate to do that. So I'm never going to say that I want Bill Belichick gone just because it's like saying you want a family member gone. Realistically, I think that you guys will be able to have that conversation, and I will respect your opinions on that. I think that at the end of this season, we're going to have I'm really hoping it goes better than expected, but going as realistically as I think it's going to go, I think we're going to have a serious restructuring, and that can be difficult in the Patriots as an organization that has pretty much looked the same for a really long time. And even those minor changes, as we saw last season with some of the play calling, can really impact what our performance looks like. So I think we're going to definitely have to rethink some things. Do I want Bill Belichick on? No, of course not. But I think we're going to have to rethink a couple of things.
All right.
Is that a good pageant answer? Because I don't want to.
I was gonna say.
Do you really think they would fire Bill Belichick?
No, I don't.
Yes, they should.
Or would he strategically retire?
I don't think that Bill ever would walk away. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You don't think? I don't think there's any chance that they fire him. I think
it's
if
not
he
even
leaves,
like a conversation
he will,
I can wrap my head around.
He'll be like pushed to retire.
Leclerc still isn't out on the track, by the way.
I know it's really stressing me out. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm kind of a mess over here.
I am just putting us on NFL watch quickly. This has nothing to do with Jaguars fandom. I actually had someone, like a friend of mine recently who's a guy, say something that I hadn't really thought about before. And he's like kind of new to the friend group situation. He actually listens to our podcast, but he told me that I kind of made him realize how girls watch sports from a different perspective. And I'm really glad that if we're doing anything with this podcast, that's what we're doing. But the Titans' Hassan Haskins was arrested for domestic assault, like I think a week and a half ago at this point. I guess the altercation started because he saw her like someone's like a guy's Instagram post on her phone. And then it turned into like a 2-day kind of fight between them, which led to him eventually choking her out. And we've seen a lot of, like, we've talked about it before, just how like the NBA doesn't really deal with this stuff. The MLB has seemed to maybe take a little bit more of a step forward in the last couple of years, but still nothing really. But we all know that the NFL is the worst. So I'm just putting us on NFL watch here. He obviously made bail, but it's a conversation, and I hope it doesn't get swept under the rug like usual. So
definitely, and fitting when we open the segment with the PED suspensions and gambling suspensions. So be nice to have some maybe things.
Yeah. All right, you got some notes too. What's up?
All right, so the Raiders made Derek Carr's wife cry. Did you guys see this?
I have not seen this.
Okay, so this was a report that came out. I saw it yesterday. I'm not sure when exactly it came out. Derek Carr was being interviewed. Basically, the conversation was going in the direction of, why he left Las Vegas. And he says something along the lines of the direct quote is, once they made my wife cry, I was pretty much done there.
Okay, so, what?
So the way that people are interpreting this is either there's something that went on, or the other way you can interpret it is by benching him, she was crying about him being benched. So that's the main takeaway. But it was going around. When you first hear it, you're like, oh my God, they made Derek Carr's wife cry. So just wanted to put that in there for general reactions and predictions on Derek Carr this season. I'm anticipating him to throw better than in Vegas because I think he was unhappy. I don't know that we've necessarily seen anything that is going to make him a superstar quarterback in the NFL. I hate to say it, but
no, he's reached his ceiling in my book.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well, Tyler. And
I don't think the way I interpreted that wife crying, I think she was just upset that he was benched.
Yeah.
And
okay,
just play better.
Something to say. If they made her cry for a legit reason, good for Derek Carr for sticking up for her. If he's making a stink about him getting benched in that way, I will be the biggest Derek Carr hater for the rest of my days. I swear to God, I will be the biggest hater of all time. And I am pretty good at being a hater. So you know what? I swear to God, I swear that is what happened. I will freak out. And I don't know what this USA Today thing is either, Haley. I'm not.
Oh yeah. So I will have you guys, if you could just click that for me, if you want to pull that up. This came out this week. The annual USA Today fan base rankings. This is from Mike Freeman with USA Today. So obviously it's not super official, but it has been going all over Twitter and probably Threads. I
have not seen this.
I don't even know what this is.
So this is key takeaways for me. Actually pretty great placement for your Lions and pretty high placement for the Jags and the Pats. So it is broken down by tier, tiers 1 to 7, highest being the worst, 1 being the most relaxed fans. So in tier 8, we have Patriots. Mike Freeman said when Brady left, he took a lot of the fan energy with him. I really agree with that.
So is it saying the Patriots are a relaxed fan base?
No,
that's not true.
No, so it's 10 is the worst.
Okay.
1 is the best.
10 is the worst.
Here is my thing. Here's my big issue with this is that
I don't think
Jags,
this is such a terrible ranking.
Yes. So this has been very controversial. It's been all over. People are really upset about this. I am most upset about the Jags take, which is that they shouldn't have the pool. Kendra, can you respond?
They shouldn't have the pool?
Why the fuck can't we have a pool? Because your teams don't know how to have fun. It's
Buccaneers
Florida,
have
bitch.
A pool.
It's Florida, bitch.
Can't have a pool or a sauna or whatever the hell that is in the stadium.
You just don't like hot bitches.
I was like, that is the most incorrect take I think I've ever heard in my life. I think that is so cool. And by the way, if anyone can get us into that pool, we would love to go.
Shout out anybody we know that listens to this podcast.
Shout out to anybody that we know that gets access to the pool. But that is so cool. I don't know. I had a real issue with this ranking. Twitter had a real issue with this ranking.
Yeah, this shit
I have an
sucks.
issue with this ranking.
It was really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think Cleveland fans are above Lions fans.
I think the Patriots fans are so annoying.
We did get put up. We were put up there. We were put up at tier 8, just below Vikings and the Cowboys.
I would say Patriots and Cowboys are in a category of their own.
They should be, yeah, easily.
And the thing the thing for me is the top tier is Texans, Giants, and Kansas City. Now, Kansas City, I can
Texans
see.
don't have like that vocal.
The
of a fan
Texans
base,
have
do they?
never even won a Super Bowl.
So the argument
No.
for the
Can't be annoying.
Texans is, have you ever seen a Texans fan outside of the stadium?
Yes.
I haven't.
I grew up in the AFC South. Yes.
Right. But it is kind of interesting to think about. I'm like, I don't know.
This list is whack.
I know.
This list
USA
is
Today
crazy.
should be.
Yeah, if you're a
ashamed.
listener,
Who
you're
wrote
watching,
this?
check out
For
this article. Let us know
Who
what
wrote
you
this?
think.
Mike
Let us know your
Freeman.
biggest thoughts. Because that was my big laugh of this
That
weekend.
article's making me dumber.
Just watching people react
I don't
to this was so
understand
good.
it.
You have to read it like 5 times to get it. It took me so long.
I am shook by, I know that P2 like doesn't really matter, but it does. It's not like a quali or anything. But I am very shook over who is doing well and who is not right now. Alex Albon and Logan Sargent are in 3rd and 5th in the Williams.
USA.
I love
Is that an American brand?
No, Sargent's American. So it's just every time we hear him on the radio, he doesn't have an accent. So it's like kind of a meme.
All right, couple NBA things, mostly just Celtics stuff and rumors and whatever. First of all, I'm gonna jump back into my hater era for a second too. I loved Peyton Pritchard until I saw him get in a fist fight on Cape Cod this weekend and throw a chair at somebody.
You did love him.
Threw a chair?
Yeah.
Oh like God. What kind of chair are we talking? Steel or
like a outdoor like on patio
an Adirondack?
Chair. I don't know what that means.
I don't know how to explain.
It was like a plastic chair.
I got what you
like saying. A deck chair.
Deck chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now I'm just like, all right, well, you traded Grant Williams. We can talk about it. Trade Pritchard too. Haley, I have been very outspokenly a Grant Williams hater. Just basically, here's my thing. If you're gonna I'm gonna start off by saying I am pro Grant Williams being traded. And do I agree with the return for him? Absolutely not. Do I agree with the return for Marcus Smart? Absolutely not. Here's the thing, though. This entire postseason journey for them has kind of made the statement that we don't want any noise in the locker room because we want it to be Jalen and Jason's locker room and give them the chance to be these leaders that we know they can be, right? And if you get rid of Marcus Smart for that reason, even though I know that the Brogdon situation didn't work out, if you get rid of Marcus Smart and that's now the narrative, you have to get rid of Grant Williams too, because he then became the largest voice in that locker room. I said that a couple weeks ago and I still mean it now. He became the largest voice in that locker room. And if your entire postseason priority has been making sure that these guys can grow into leadership roles, you got to meet it and you got to trade Grant. I feel like they gave these players away and that's my only issue with it. But if that's really what they're after with this coming season, they're doing everything to make me think that they're being honest about that.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I think the other thing too is kind of underlying all of this. There's kind of a question and feeling within the fan base, especially more with the Marcus trade. But in addition to being those louder voices in the locker room, I would say that those two players are also probably two of the more critical voices in the locker room of the Joe Mazzulla situation and maybe the lacking that we were seeing from that in the previous season. Like you pointed out, even more reason that those would be the two that would need to leave if that's what they were going for. Just because I know that even though those criticisms are valid, the general vibe for the team is that they can't be having those kind of things come up because they do want to move forward. Obviously, they're going to do what they're going to do and they're going to go with what that plan is. I agree. I had foreseen Grant leaving in the postseason when we talked earlier this summer. I'm going to say that today, more so than that conversation, I'm realizing that he will be a pretty difficult player to replace, I think, just in the sense of some of his size stuff and just, I don't know. So I'm a little bit nervous about kind of how the team is going to look. Obviously I had in here that Lillard was intriguing as a temporary solution, but we have found out this morning that is not going to be what we go with. And I just think that we need to get some youth into this team, Ken. That's where I'm kind of at. I think that
they need bench depth, not so much youth. Like, I don't really care how young you are as long as it's a good deal for like your productivity thing. And I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
This team has gotten a lot worse. It's kind of reminding me of the Jaguars defense, not to like whatever. It's like you're getting worse and you're not replacing it with anything and you have no depth. And I'm confused. You signed, now you have a big three quotes. If you are not watching us on YouTube, I put that in air quotes. Big three that I don't think is going to be as productive as you think they're going to be. And now you have no depth because you've traded it all away. You have these second round picks that you can't use that are just sitting in your back pocket. Damian Lillard's no longer an option. And
even if he was an option, the idea of having Jason, Brown, Tatum, or Porzingis and Lillard, that's an older side of the byway.
But Jalen's due a contract, and it should have happened days ago, and it hasn't happened. And now that the Lillard trade has, kind of fizzled out, I'm like, okay, well, what are you waiting for? What's going on? Because there's nobody else that you could sign right now, or that would be worth it for him to trade away for. What are you going to do? Trade him away for 7 bench players? Like, no.
Or more picks. We have 13 picks right now. So it's like
your championship window is about yay big.
Yeah.
You got 2 seasons. That's it.
Yeah, I have in here. We're still awaiting the Brown Tatum. I think it's going to be a mega deal. I think it's going to be something that we have never probably seen before.
It has to be.
Just the timing of all this has me stressed. I am stressed out. With that being said, as we'll get into, I am more confident in Celtics offseason moves than I am the Bruins, I will say. So we'll see. Go Celts.
I think I would agree with you if the Brown deal was done, just because even when they have him, he's something. But like, I can't tell if he would rather take less money and not be here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the general vibe is that he wants to be here.
I think they want him here.
I think it's a mutual thing.
I don't think he wants to be here.
Because I feel like if he didn't want to be here, we would have been having that conversation a long time ago.
I mean, I think we have been. He hates it here.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he can leave if he wants to. Like he can move, but he hasn't.
I just don't because the money is
right.
I don't know. Not to rub it in your face, but the Bucks re-signed Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez immediately.
Congratulations. That's excellent. No, that's actually great. I love both of those players. So.
Okay, wait, Tyler. Are you ready to have a new favorite person?
If you say Wimby, I'm out.
No. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the biggest Threads advocate of all time.
Is he?
He has been tweeting every hour that he loves it so much.
I also, that we can agree on that. I don't know. I've always been hesitant.
Can we check if he's is he a partner, a Threads partner?
I don't think so. I want to see what number he was to join, though. All right. So Max got first, Carlos got second, and Alex Albon got third in P2. Woohoo!
And we're watching Charles' car not start. This is flashback footage.
I was looking something up and I already forgot what it was. I don't even know.
Giannis's
yes, what number he was to join Threads. Yes. Giannis.
I hope he was like number 1.
No, that has to be Zuck, right?
No, I hope he was before Zuck. Somehow.
He was like 2 million, like 2.3 million somewhere. Damn, I had Threads before Giannis. Look at me go.
Wow.
Skirt. And then my only other basketball thought was, have you guys seen how we'll talk about more Wembanyama stuff later, but have you guys seen how expensive tickets are in Vegas tonight to go watch him play his first game? They're insane.
They're crazy.
Absolutely crazy. It's
I have
giving
a hot
me
take.
Oh, go ahead.
Ooh.
Betting the under on his point total tonight.
I like that.
I think it's like at 20 something. I don't think he goes over 14.
I like that. I like that play. You should tweet that out with the bat signal. With the bat signal.
My first Threads bet will be Wembanyama under.
I have to admit, I got kind of into a conspiracy hole the other day. So I think that this is giving me big 1985 energy. When they first started the draft, the Knicks got the first pick. They took Patrick Ewing. It was a whole big thing because the NBA was in a really shitty position and they needed a team in a big city to take the first pick so that they could draft Patrick Ewing. And then their season ticket sales improved like 400% or something ridiculous. I was watching this whole thing that really broke down how impactful a draft pick can be for an organization and for a team. And the fact that we're still seeing this literally 40 years later, crazy. I
Yeah.
honestly really hope Wemby pulls through because some of the pressure they put on these kids and these picks really just makes me nervous.
Yeah, I see. I like him. I think he's gonna be good, but do think it would be insane if he wound up being a bust. Just because
Can
I don't
you
That
think
would be insane. The
Imagine.
hype that was behind him.
The
If he were to
hype-
bust, that would be
crazy. Would he be the
legendary.
biggest bust in history? I think yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Based off the hype, yeah, I feel like he would have to be.
I'm not wishing that upon him. I hope he has a great,
No,
happy,
yeah.
healthy career.
He does
but
intimidate me though. I don't know how I feel. I worry
I
for
just
his
can't-
limbs. I feel
I
like they're
can't
just
unsee
gonna
him next to
snap.
JJ Redick.
I would like to see him next to Yuki.
Hmm.
T.
I would also like to see him.
Don't hate on my short king.
I think his arm, like one of his arms, might be taller than Yuki.
Shut up, Tyler. You shut up. Any other basketball thoughts before we move on to Haley's Bruins? Haley, you know what? Once again, hater era. I am so used to like Boston fans being like, oh yeah, I'm reaching for another trophy. And now I'm just like, ha.
I'm just smiling through the pain.
All right, let's talk about the Bruins. Haley, you have some good notes here. Except Tyler Bertuzzi, I think, is the biggest mistake they ever could have made.
I am so devastated. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. It's awful.
I have a lot of
Awful,
notes.
awful.
I'm upset he didn't go back to Detroit.
I thought he was going to
Fucking
just
coward.
because he loved it so much there. But you know what? I know that him and his agent allegedly misread the market a bit, it seems. And I know that he has a relationship with someone in the Leafs organization, which is allegedly why he took the 1-year contract, is because there might be some sort of verbal promise of a larger contract down the line if it goes well, which, you know, whatever, that might be true. It might not be true. But I don't blame him for going there. You know, people on Twitter are flaming him for saying that the Leafs have a better chance of winning a cup in the future. And I don't know why people are hating on him. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
I'm not going to say that because I hate the Toronto Maple Leafs and I have no problem saying that. Also, it's a little bit of a giant fuck you to the Bruins organization and fan base, which is why you're probably seeing that Twitter reaction. Yeah, this was kind of like a gut punch for sure. I was not a fan of this. The audacity to put such emphasis on the Toronto Maple Leafs is unfounded to me.
I think the biggest gut punch should be the way that they went about it, because in the first day, the first minutes, they could make moves. They signed Lucic, JVR, and Shattenkirk almost immediately. And it's like, that's a couple $1 million that you could have spent elsewhere. You didn't need those guys at the time. You didn't. And now you're in a place where you have all these guys who are at the end of their career. I honestly think Van Riemsdyk could move up and down between Boston and Providence at some point. That's the thing is, like, I think that the youth in Providence has earned a little bit more of skating time up with the big B's this year, just because of how well they played in their own postseason last year. That it's like, how do you deny a lot of those guys opportunity coming up? And it's like Van Riemsdyk is in like a position where that's just one of those movable positions at the moment, especially if you're an older guy. At some point the youth has to take over. And on top of that, like, now you have, and I understand that it's basically procedural that Sway and Freddie are going to arbitration. Fine. I think Sway is going to get more money. Freddie is going to get more money if that were to happen. Whatever. Fine. You bring back Lauko. The biggest question mark to me outside of signing those guys as quickly as you did is the goalie situation, because you signed Boosie, who like is obviously your P Bruins goalie or a backup or what have you. He's sick. Like, you could have like that same young goalie tandem for cheaper than you had this year. I know obviously Ullmark had a career season. Sway wanted out. Why are you keeping both of them? I don't understand, especially when you have such a good prospect that is supposed to be lights out in a year, 2 years, whatever. You don't need all of these goalies. Why are you hoarding goalies? You need Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah, I think it's tricky. I will say that the Allmark Swayman situation was something I went into the postseason very much hoping that they kept that tandem with the talent available. Like you said, that's a good point. But there is something just about the two of them, the dynamic they have, keeping them in Boston, not only just for like the purpose of the position, but also just like kind of the relationship and the thing that they've built here. I really hope, with that being said, that it doesn't bite them in the ass. But I think it was ultimately a move that was made so that they can keep that kind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of energy.
I would also like to say suck it to everyone, because my offseason predictions were 100% accurate outside of Tyler Bertuzzi. I said Orloff was gone. I said Hathaway was gone. I didn't say anything about Cliffy, but I
knew Cliffy was gone after the playoffs. Yeah, he was gone.
But everybody they signed, I was right. So you know what? Suck it. Except for Sway, he's in arbitration, and Freddie, but like that will eventually happen, and I will be pretty much right outside of Tyler Bertuzzi, which was, I think, a shock to everybody. I think the Hurricanes signing Orlov was also huge. Good for them. Southern hockey, whatever.
I was sad to see Taylor Hall go. I really liked him kind of coming up in the Bruins and just being, one of the younger guys. Sad to see him go. I also put a meme in here for you.
Yeah, you have some draft notes, but I just have to say my 2 early cup predictions in the middle of the fucking summer. It's Toronto or Dallas season.
I hate that.
Wow.
I ride Dallas over Toronto any day.
Toronto was my cup pick last year, so I'm sticking with them with the Bertuzzi signing.
Pick, to be honest,
they can't do it.
Something about
I wonder what they are right now.
Something about Dallas. I can't see them winning a cup. I can't visualize it.
That's how I feel about the Maple Leafs. I can't even picture it in my mind.
Though. Has Dallas done it before?
I don't know if Dallas has won a cup.
I think they have.
All right, Haley, draft shout outs.
Oh yeah, draft shout outs. First and foremost, before I go into this, Tyler was our resident on-scene reporter at the NHL draft this year.
Represent Tyler.
Shout out, Tyler. Can you give us a quick couple thoughts? How was the energy in the building? It looked really awkward on television.
Were you with Connor Bedard's family or no?
I don't think I ended up being with Connor Bedard's family. I think they are friendly with him, the people I was sitting with.
Yeah, because you weren't sitting on the family side.
I wasn't sitting on the family side.
They cut to his actual dad and you weren't there.
No, that wasn't me. I do think it was
Tyler's not Connor Bedard's dad.
I don't know. Biggest takeaway was the Blackhawks fans. They travel.
Really?
There were more Blackhawks fans there.
Well, number one pick. That's very exciting.
In the building anyway. I'm sure like on the street, like inside Bridgestone where the draft was happening, it's pretty chill. Like there are like no long lines anywhere at any of the concessions or the team store or anything. But outside at the Predators or NHL, whoever, they hosted like a block party on Broadway. They built like a big stage and had bands perform and stuff. Chaos out there. I can't imagine. I would not have gone if I didn't have tickets inside the building because it was incredibly hot. But yeah, it was cool.
Did they have alcohol inside?
They did have alcohol inside. This was my only takeaway.
That was the only takeaway. Great.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's my
good
draft
shit
segment.
My big draft takeaway.
Will Smith was great. Yeah.
My big draft takeaway are 2 Massachusetts boys being drafted in the first 10 picks of the first round, which is awesome. Will Smith, who they had come out to Fresh Prince, center from Lexington, Mass. He is going to your San Jose Sharks, Kendra, so that should be interesting. That'll definitely be something we'll have to preview, obviously, when we get closer to NHL season. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about the Sharks this year. Yeah, so he is actually also headed to BC in the fall. Hockey East FTW. That'll be fun to watch. And he's ranked 3rd best skater by NHL Central Scouting in North America. So cool. And then the other kid would be the right wing, Ryan Leonard. He is from Amherst, Mass. And he is headed to Tyler's team, the Washington Caps. So I thought that was interesting that 2 Massachusetts boys, one's heading to Kendra, one's heading to Tyler's team. He went with the
Haley?
8th pick. What?
I said swag, Haley.
Swag, right? And then I wanted to bring this up really quick, Kendra, just to get your thoughts on this. We talked a little bit last episode about the differences between getting players prepared for the major league in NBA and the NHL, and how we kind of think the NHL has got it figured out in terms of getting these players ready. As you also brought up with the Providence Bruins. So Ryan Leonard and Will Smith, both of these players from Massachusetts, were successful on the U.S. national team development program, which has had great results in the last couple of years for getting some of these players out of that system and into the NHL. So what does that tell us kind of about how these players are prepped? Is there something that we can maybe take away from the fact that they're drafted before college? What do you think?
I think it's one of the sports that has a lot more emphasis on it, not only globally, but from like a developmental perspective. So it's like when you look at hockey in comparison to other sports, these kids oftentimes they'll play high school, or a lot of them will go to boarding school. They'll play juniors, then they'll go to college, or they'll play abroad or what have you. And then you even get time in, you know, a lot of these kids will play super young, but not even remotely all of them. Like a lot of them will spend time in the AHL. Some of them will move down ECHL. We see that happen all the time. But I think that it's just, you get so much experience at so many different levels before you're on the big stage. Whereas, you know, it's football. It's like you play in high school, then you play a couple years in college, and then you go to the NFL, and the talent is smaller for leagues like that as well. And it's football's not as global, whereas hockey, like the competition is insane. So it's, if you have been able to compete at every single phase of the game at the top of your game, then you're obviously meant for the big stage. You know, like that's kind of the issue that I think, while we live in such a hockey mecca, a lot of the rest of the world is that way, but we don't really see it in other parts of the US, which is, I thought that the Swedes swept the first round of the fucking draft. Like I felt like every pick was from Sweden. And we see a lot of those kids come play over here, but they also have good development at home. And I think that that's just, it's the emphasis on hockey. And it's such an expensive sport to play that if you have money to play hockey, you obviously, you know, can afford the development. So I think that that's a big piece of it as well.
Yeah, for sure. Good thoughts. Tyler, anything as a former hockey player that you took away?
No,
allegedly Tyler played hockey. We cannot confirm.
No.
Yeah, cool
No.
beans. All right, we have your PLL corner, Kendra.
My Kendra's corner PLL of the week is, first of all, congratulations to Team USA for bringing it home.
Woo, beat those Aussies.
Was there a question about that? Was there like a question of like USA winning?
I think
like,
that Canada could have been Canada's the biggest rival.
Canada's the biggest rival? Okay.
I would also like to shout out the Iroquois team.
Yes.
I saw Jamaica had
they
a team,
were
didn't they?
badass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Lacrosse, it was a cool tournament. I watched the games that I could. It was in San Diego, so some of the games were a bit late, but I watched a decent amount of them. Minneapolis this weekend for the PLL, a couple good games. I feel like there's two really good games and two not so great games. First and foremost, we have the champion Water Dogs versus the Chrome, who are, you know, were thought at the beginning of the season to be kind of a championship favorite, and they are quickly falling out of my good graces. I said
they're making fools of us.
I said when they played the Cannons the week before the break, that was like a must win for them, just from like a confidence perspective. I know that the majority of this league makes the postseason, but they got kind of embarrassed there for a minute by the fucking Cannons, and Lyle Thompson's not even playing this season. So that's an issue. Brendan Nickturn is back this week from military obligation, so hopefully that gives them a chance to spread out the scoring, add to the scoring. I'm a big Brendan Nickturn fan. I think that he's really creative with the ball. And he had a lot of production as a rookie, and I hopefully think that there's room for him to kind of just fall back into this offense smoothly. That's what I'm hoping for him. They just haven't played like a playoff team, in my opinion, at this point. And, you know, 7 of the 8 teams are going to make it, whatever. But now JT Giles Harris and Jesse Bernhardt are both on the PUP list. So that's, you know, also a little bit of a question. You're playing the champions, you know, like Michael Sowers rocks. They have so much flow, and just they can make something out of nothing on that team. As like I'm worried about it. Like I think they're gonna lose this game, and I think that it's gonna be the downfall of the Chrome season. The Water Dogs look pretty unbeatable at this point, and I do still think that it's the Woods year, but the Water Dogs are also obviously probably my second favorite to win some hardware this year. So I do think it is a do or die situation, just because a statement win would probably put them back on the track that they want to be on. It's just how vulnerable will the Water Dogs be at any point, because there's just not a lot of holes in their team. Tyler, it's you and us. We're playing each other this week.
Yeah, you're our resident Water Dog fan.
I am the Residog. No, I can't say I've really been keeping up with it. Sorry.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, well, fuck you this week. Cannons versus Atlas. I don't really care about this team. The Atlas should be way better than they are. That's all I have to say. I feel like Trevor Baptiste is the best, and him and Jeff Teat need to get her going a little bit. That's probably the game I'm the least excited about this week. I feel like the Atlas championship window is closing a little. The end.
But this next game.
This is the game of the week, in my opinion. Redwoods Chaos. Woods need a good comeback after losing to their rival Whipsnakes and giving them their first win of the season. They had a really good groove the first 2 weeks. Riders had a sock trick 2 out of 3 games so far this season, which is fucking crazy. I think that the Woods, in order to win this game against such an insane Chaos defenses, they're going to have to step up the 2-point scoring. They're so capable of it, but haven't really had a lot of it this season. Also, I think the face-off is going to be huge. Jack Roulette's been awesome for the Chaos, kind of lights out. I think that Sergio Perkovic, Miles Jones, and Jules Henningberg are really going to be that sweet spot for the Redwoods this week. Yeah, I just think that that's where your game's going to be won this week, is on the face-off, and those guys maybe contributing a little bit more. Last but not least, also not so many words, I think the Archers are the most overrated team in the entire league. Whips. That's all I got for you. Before we close out the show, we've just got a couple F1 things to say. We've been talking about it most of the show because we're watching practice while we're recording. I said already that I think it's Sainz Silverstone era. He had a good P2. We'll see how P3 goes. I think I jinxed you guys by putting in our notes, are Ferrari capable of having 2 good weeks in a row? Because as we just saw, Charles didn't make it onto the track.
No, he's just chilling.
Yeah,
he's just taking a nap.
As the resident Ferrari fan on the pod, I am kind of dreading this weekend, because of last year. You pointed out in our notes, Sainz took over and won, but at the expense of my boy Charles. So it was a win, but it wasn't really. Still devastating. Charles didn't get, I don't even think second or third. I think he got 4th actually in that race because he didn't have Sainz there to defend him. So I'm really hoping for Charles to have a successful weekend, and I'm really hoping that we get another podium finish for Charles, but Ferrari overall would be great as well.
The only other thing I have for you is that the Alex Albon to Ferrari rumors have heated up, and I'm curious if you have any thoughts.
Yeah. Listen, I like Albon. I think that he is a likable driver. I think that he is a talented driver. I just get really nervous when we start talking about silly season and that kind of thing. Drivers moving around and switching seats just gets me, like, I'm literally sweating thinking about it. So I can't even begin to think about who he would be replacing, who's going to go where.
Carlos.
Yeah. So
because I think that he's going to go to Audi.
Yeah. So
Audi's getting a team?
Yeah. So there's a couple new teams and different things moving around. So I don't
Tyler's favorite
Charles to
car.
Audi.
As long as Charles is in the top seat.
No, I'm saying let's go to Audi, Charles.
Compact car, baby.
Charles loves Ferrari.
Me and Charles are going to Audi.
All right, you have an F1 thought, Tyler?
Do I? Oh, I do. Shout out Brad Pitt. He's filming a movie there this weekend. My only thought. It's gonna be cool.
Shout out Brad Pitt.
Closing segments, starting off with tweets of the week. My tweet of the week is I said this on Twitter. I never thought that I would have fucking beef with the zoo, but I have beef with the motherfucking Jacksonville Zoo, okay? Fuck whoever named that Jaguar cub Banks and came up with the idea Dewey spelled wrong. First of all, even if it was for Duval, nobody has ever fucking said that a day in their life. Not once. Nobody's even thought about it. Second of all, you didn't even spell it like Dewey Wingard, and I would honestly hate you more if you did. So fine. Third, Banks is a stupid name. And fourth, Trevor or
Who's
Lawrence
Banks?
was the fucking Jaguar cub.
I thought it was Dewey.
No, that was the
No,
second option
the
that they
second
wanted that
Oh, they
actually
went with
won
Banks?
no,
Yeah.
yes.
Banks
Ugh.
won.
When
Dewey's
Trevor
much
or
better than
Lawrence
Banks.
was sitting right there with the layup. And that's what everyone wanted, and they wouldn't do it. And they took $21,000 in donations to name this fucking Jaguar cub. The name nobody even picked.
It's like Agent Cody Banks. That's what I think of.
Stop it. You stop that. No, we are not calling the Actually, you know what?
Jaguar's
it.
name is Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that
I
almost
hate
makes
so
it more
much.
likable.
I have beef with the Jacksonville Zoo.
Hey, Cincinnati would
T.
never.
Cincinnati would never.
Shout out Fritz.
Like, how
Shut up, Ritz.
how do you fumble that so hard?
It is crazy that they just didn't like acknowledge the Trevor or Lawrence things at all.
And everyone was commenting that when they first asked. Everyone. And you took $21,000 in people's donations saying Trevor or Lawrence, and you come up with an insult or Banks.
Wow.
Agent Cody Banks. That's what I'm going to call him. We need to go to see this Jaguar so I can call him Agent Cody
agree.
Banks.
No, I'm not giving them any of my money.
We'll sneak in.
Do you sneak? Okay, whatever. Haley, what's your tweet of the week?
My tweet of the week is actually a thread of the week to appease you two. Kendra is a wizard. She took her Hogwarts sorting quiz this week.
I was like,
So-
what could this possibly be?
So I was wondering if you'd want to share your results with the audience.
I don't think that anybody ever thought I would. Okay, I was a little between Slytherin and Hufflepuff. It was like 60 Slytherin, 40 Hufflepuff, just because of the weed.
Yeah, I'm a strong Hufflepuff.
What is the
I
one?
am Slytherin. There's no
what's
question
Harry
about it.
Potter's?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
I think I'm Gryffindor.
I don't think
This all
you knew
makes
that.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I am 1,000 for. I'm kind of surprised Tyler's not in Slytherin just because he's such
What's
a hater.
the other one?
No, I think Tyler
What
needs
are-
to
what-
take the
name
quiz
all four of
again.
them real
No,
quick?
you need it's. You were
I haven't
probably
taken the quiz.
Ravenclaw because you wear glasses.
Ooh, Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
I could be Ravenclaw.
Nerd.
I haven't taken the quiz. I
Nerd.
refused. So Tyler Lore adamantly against Harry Potter in the franchise. I refuse to associate with it.
You're a strong Christian boy, so you don't deal with those sorcerers.
No, but I'm also not a Chronicles of Narnia guy.
What
So-
are we?
Interesting.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that was Tea Party. Next segment.
Mine is that Tom Brady is cheating on me. Him and Kim Kardashian have been seen out together multiple times.
Mm.
It's true.
They were seen
Teen.
out dancing and I guess all the things, which I called this back in the fall, by the
did.
way.
You
On
did,
this
yeah.
show.
This was
On this
the long
show,
con.
I said that Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian would temporarily date for the lore.
How long do you think it'll last?
A year.
A year? Okay.
Yeah.
How long did her
Um,
and Pete last? That wasn't a year, was it? Didn't feel.
I think it
that-
was close to a year.
Was it?
Yeah. All right, Haley, what's your tea party before we read Tyler has horoscope?
Yeah. So we had the Wemby versus Britney Spears news come out yesterday or the day
Yeah.
before. We're filming this on Friday. We don't know the details yet. I put in our notes that this is all I can think about as a group that has been to Vegas. I've been to Vegas now a couple of times, as have these two. One thing I know about Las Vegas, and hopefully you guys have noticed this as well, there are cameras absolutely everywhere in that city.
course.
Obviously, with the amount of gambling that goes on, cheating, crime, those kinds of things, it is a very well surveillanced area. So I am hopeful, not in a way that I want to watch this footage, but just because we're having so many different accounts of what really happened here, I'm hopeful that something was caught on camera so that it can get cleared up.
How do you not know who Britney Spears is?
I bet it was just like a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I
It's
just
like she came
I feel
up
like we
behind
don't
them
know
or
enough
something
about the
and surprised
situation
them.
that
I don't know.
Yeah,
know.
I can't imagine it was like with malice.
I don't
Just
know.
a
I hope
misunderstanding. I hope
but
so.
like the thing is that I just hope that he actually didn't hit her too hard, because that nobody, even if that would be a lot.
unnecessary. So hopefully we get some updates there. What do we got for our horoscopes this week? What's going on with the moon?
All right,
what's the
this
moon
is
up to?
Tyler's favorite segment where we read him his horoscope. It says that you and I have different ways of being in the world, and that my youthful impulses conflict with your level-headed maturity.
Oh my God, Tia.
I am a mature person.
Are
clearly.
you? Hold on, I'm gonna go click on your profile and see if there's any other tea for the day.
It's not very fun this week, Moon. It's really
It's
lacking this week.
It says that when you don't know what you need, you become a wild animal trapped in a love zoo.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
With Dewey.
That's crazy.
With Cody Banks.
With Agent Cody Banks.
Cody Banks.
Don't forget about the agent part. The agent is like crucial.
I forgot Hilary Duff was in that movie until I just looked it up.
Crazy movie. Who was the actor that played Cody Banks?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie
Muniz, that's his
Muniz.
name,
That's
yeah.
it.
Shout
my
out Frankie
closing-
Muniz, friend of the pod.
Friend of the
Wait,
pod.
do you guys have any closing thoughts?
Hope everyone has a great week. If you're in New England, it's finally getting hot out. We are working our way out of our month long of rain. I am already bitching about the heat every single day. But
I love
get
it.
out there, enjoy the weather, enjoy the summer, and be super safe on the roads at night, drunk driving, all that good stuff. Avoid that. And have a great week.
Tyler.
I'm currently just watching the trailer for Agent Cody Banks. I might watch this movie. My homework for everybody: go watch Agent Cody Banks this week. That's my movie recommendation of the week.
My closing thought is happy birthday, Grimace.
That was the most SNS closing thought segment of my life.
Love you guys. Have a good one. Keep on sipping. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.